The dreaded pickup fee.
Pickup fees.
We're a Towaway couple. I'm Tom, the driver.
And I'm Bunny, the load picker.
The load picker sounds wrong. It sounds wrong in every aspect of the word load picker.
I pick our units.
Okay, there you go. Picking the units. All right, so we weren't told this. And one of the things about doing towaway or drive away is probably about 90% of it is learn as you go.
Yes. And that's why we started doing these videos, because
we couldn't find information.
If we can help one person with hey, we're doing our job.
If we can help one person make their life easier.
Yes.
We feel we accomplished something. And so with that said, there are pickup fees as low as, what do they say, like 15 or 20 bucks?
Yeah, I've never seen
never seen one, but as high as 35 bucks.
Yeah.
35 or 40. But every pickup fee we've had has been $35. I was told on reloads there's no pickup fee.
Okay.
But reloads are far and few in between.
We don't even look for a reload.
We don't look for reloads. Mm-hmm. Some people, that's all they do is reloads, only reloads. Typically reloads pay less, so they don't have the pickup fee. One of the reasons for the pickup fee is people, I guess in the past, they just dump trailers in yards, and you would have to go do your own paperwork. You would have to dig your trailer out. And then, so if there were 3 trailers deep, this is what we heard. We don't have factual. But if you was 3 trailers deep and your trailer was the third one, you would have to hook onto the first 2, then hook onto your trailer, and then hook onto the other 2 and put them back in the spots.
Right. Now
that's a lot of work.
That is. I'll pay the $35 to have them in a line.
Lined up, all staged.
Yeah. Kind of in where they're supposed to be. Not always there.
So what the $35 pickup fee, and we're going to call it the $35 pickup fee because that's all we've ever paid is $35.
Right.
We would love to pay $20 or $15, nothing. But
I think I've actually paid $20 for an RV pickup fee.
Okay, well,
or
but the RVs pay a lot less.
Yes.
So anyway, what they do is they stage all the RVs and they have rows where you can go up and down each row. And then when you find your unit, and hopefully it's on the row, part of the pickup fee.
Hopefully it's in that yard.
Hopefully it's in that yard. But part of the pickup fee is you are given a row number and a unit number, manufacturer and everything. These rows aren't that long, but we have found the unit 1, 2, 3 rows away. We had one unit that was clear on the other side, not even in a row, where it said it was in a row, and we spent an hour looking for it.
And it was just against the fence line.
That's our time.
Yep.
And we're paying $35 to save that.
We had one in another yard.
And it kind of said the other yard on the bill of lading, but it had the address and everything to the yard we were at.
Right.
And after searching for an hour or so, Bunny goes, why don't we just go to the other yard? It's about 15 miles away, and let's just check there. And we go to the other yard, and lo and behold, it's there. So the pickup fee, I think whoever delivers the units or whoever puts it in should ultimately be responsible if the trailer isn't on that row or in that yard, ultimately, because it would be, we're responsible for that trailer.
Right,
so
absolutely.
It should be an accountability.
Right. Now this past couple of weeks, it's been a lot easier because even if they are on a few rows away, they're easy to find.
They're easy to find because there's a parts shortage. But when there were 900 trailers on the load board.
And they're all wedged in there, yeah.
Yeah, they were literally, you couldn't walk between them. So we would have to hook on, pull them out, and then do our inspection for damage and everything. So $35 covers them staging it where you could just swing in, pick it up, do your inspection, take your pictures, check your paperwork and VIN number.
Mm-hmm. Double, triple check, and call for your advance and get the hell out of Dodge. Yep.
Now, all the paperwork is provided. It's all in the unit. We have gotten a couple units where they didn't have all the paperwork, and we didn't have the dealer acceptance form on one of them.
Right.
So on our TowawayCouple.com, under our resources, we put, I think there's 4 dealer acceptance forms. They're just generic. If you want, go ahead and download all 4, print one of each, and put it in your binder, just because without that dealer acceptance form, you are not going to get paid.
Right, right.
That is probably the most important signature besides the BOL and everything else.
And then no driver damage.
And no driver damage. So that's where they actually list all the damages and stuff like that.
Now, do you know that those fees can sometimes be negotiable?
Yes, they can. So
we found that out by accident.
Well, we didn't know it because when we first started, any unit that we picked, they were switching and actually asking us to do a different unit.
Right.
And
of course, when we started, we only wanted the smaller units, or
we wanted the highest dollar paying.
We wanted
units,
the highest dollar paid,
but the smallest, lightest units.
Smallest, lightest, and they kept inadvertently having us go a different direction, or something that weighed a hell of a lot more than we wanted to.
Right. So we were going to make the same amount of money, but we were going to use more fuel. So that went profits. We you got to accept it. You got to have karma points. We were working with our dispatcher. We had a great relationship. And I told him, I said, when I want a unit specifically, I don't want any argument, no complaint. I'm doing all these units to get them to the dealers, but there may be a unit I want to go somewhere, and I want to go that particular time. And he said, yes, that'll work. Well, lo and behold, I wanted to test a theory on fuel mileage. Every time we went to California, we can pull up to combined weight 26,000 pounds. And every time I'd pick a light unit to go to California, they would always switch it to the heaviest unit I can pull. A fifth wheel gets better fuel mileage than a bumper pull. And they would always switch me from a fifth wheel to a bumper pull.
And a brick.
And
a rolling brick.
And it weighed way more.
The kind that are squared off on the front and not rounded.
So here I am, eating the gas mile or fuel mileage for all the professional drivers out there that will correct us. We know what we're talking about. We say gas or fuel, doesn't matter. That's our lingo. Now, one day I decided I'm going to test this theory. I want a light trailer. So I found one that was 7,000 pounds. And I'm like, I'm going to take this one. And I want to see what my fuel mileage is, because I was getting about 10 to 11 miles to the gallon with the fifth wheel and about 9.9-ish with the bumper pull of the same weight.
And that's without wind.
With wind, about 7 miles to the gallon. And I get great fuel mileage. Now, I get this trailer. I'm all excited. We had it dispatched 3 days earlier. We're heading to Indiana. And about halfway there, we get the call. And I'm like, here it goes. They're going to ask us to pull something different. And sure enough, they asked us to pull a bigger, heavier unit for the same price. And at the time, to the same location. To the same exact location. It was just a bigger, heavier unit that they needed there right away. I could have turned it down. I could have said, no, we got an agreement. I dispatched this one, but I didn't want to hurt a relationship. And I really protested. And I said, I had a theory to test, and this is going to break my theory for this time. And I've been trying to do it for 2 months. And I keep getting these heavy units. I just want a light load. And he says, what if I waive the pickup fee? And I'm like, what? What do you mean waive that dreaded pickup fee? And he goes, I can negotiate a little bit. And I'm like, I said, $35 going from a 7,000 pound trailer to a 14,000 pound trailer wouldn't even cover the extra fuel.
No.
And he goes, what if I waive 2 pickup fees? And I'm like, you don't understand. I'm looking at least $100, $120 in fuel. At $70, I'm still paying to pull that trailer when I already budgeted for the other one. So we finally negotiated at 4 pickup fees off of my future, that one and 4 additional ones.
Correct.
So I'm like, okay, it sounds great, but I didn't save any money. I didn't make any money because I still use that pickup fee in the fuel. Mm-hmm. So it just allowed me to not lose money. That's all I really cared about, but it really puts more wear and tear on your truck and stuff like that. So I go deliver the truck, and I'm excited. I'm going to get 4 pickup fees off. I dispatch my next one. She picks the dispatch. We dispatch it, and I get the paperwork, and I'm like, what the heck is this? There's a $35 pickup fee. So I call, and I said, hey, what's this pickup fee? And he goes, oh, you need to let us know that we had this agreement. I'm thinking, how do you remember? I could just arbitrarily say, hey, I had this agreement, and who's to say? So now I get a little bit gun shy. And he goes, well, there's nothing we can do because it's already dispatched. I'm thinking, yes, there is something we can do. We can undispatch it and then redispatch it because we made an agreement. And I'm living to my agreement and you are not. So he says, just do this one. And I'm like, great. Why does it always fall on the driver? He goes, and just remind me the next one. So, okay. We do that one. We eat the $35 pickup fee. And then we go to dispatch the next one. And I put in the email, remember, you owe at this time 4 pickup fees. So please remove the one. And all of a sudden I get my paperwork and the pickup fees on there again. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I told you. I called him up. I was pissed. And he goes, let me go check something. So he goes to whoever his boss is. And next thing you know, we get $35 on our EFS card, which is how they pay you at some companies. Some
Correct.
companies it's Comdata, some it's EFS, some it's check, some it's, I don't know. But every company has a different way of paying you. And the EFS is how you get your fuel discounts. So on Comdata. So all of a sudden I get $35 on my EFS card. And I'm like, why couldn't they do that the first time?
Because you didn't note it before.
Because I didn't note it before. So we've had hot loads. If you look at load boards, now the company we work for has a load board. It'll have hot loads and some will say no pickup. That means you're not going to pay the $35. So it's like a $35 bonus.
Right.
Just to take that trailer right now.
Now there are also too some that have added money onto them. They'll like to have $100 that they give you for.
That's on the motorhomes.
Right.
Yeah, typically not the trailers.
Oh, that's right. It's TowawayCouple.
What's that?
I forgot. We're talking TowawayCouple, not
Drive away.
Not drive away.
Yeah, drive away. There are so many motorhomes and such a lack of drivers. They're offering these drivers no pickup fee and like $250 bonuses. What?
It's not. It's too cold.
It's
too cold. I'm not going to drive in those big old motorhomes.
So that's why they're offering the $250 bonuses?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm just thinking there might be 1,000 motorhomes and 200 drivers.
Well, that and like the bread trucks. Do you want to drive a bread truck
Bunny was offered
Indiana,
a bread truck.
Indiana to California with no heater in it? Hell no.
And a rattle trap at that? When she's talking bread truck, it's the UPS box
or
trucks.
The Amazon
or
trucks.
Amazon trucks.
Synthes.
Yes. And the bolts fall out of it because they're building them so fast. And she was offered a hell of a bonus and we turned it down because with us it's not about the money, it's enjoying our life at the time. We want to make money and we feel we're a benefit to the company as well, and we do a lot of things for the company we're working for and we expect them to have our back too. So yeah, with that said, I think we got a bonus on like $100 or something on one of the trailers or plus the no pickup fee. When they're hot loads, they typically might not have pickup fee. If a dispatcher calls you, yeah, if you want to go that way and everything's cool, accept the load as is.
Right. And you know what? sometimes it's a crapshoot too, because you're like, oh, cool, I've never been here before. Let's give it a try.
Right.
And you're like, now I know why no one
Now
wanted
I know
that.
why no one wanted that load.
Because we have places that we're not going again.
Right. And we've had our dispatcher call us and we've turned down loads. Typically, if the dispatcher calls us, it's kind of a priority.
Right.
Because they'll mass email everyone saying, we need all these shipped. Please pick one of them. But if they call you, ask for no pickup. I mean, it doesn't hurt. They could just tell you, we can't do that on this one.
Or like you say, you use it as karma points.
Our karma points.
When you have family to visit in California and you really want to get there.
Yep. We had to use karma points on our 2 hauls ago. I needed to go to California. I called the dispatcher and I said, I really need to go see my dad. And she found a trailer going to Northern California and we spent a week with my dad. So that was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then she called me up the other day. She needed a trailer picked up and I have a doctor's appointment on Monday. So I'm like, yes, I'll do it. I'll come back to Indiana from Alabama and pick up that trailer. And as long as I could deliver Friday or Saturday, I'm good. She goes, it needs to be picked up by Wednesday, I think. Yeah.
Wednesday by 3.
Wednesday by 3. Either Tuesday by 3 or Wednesday at 3. And I said, okay, let me call and schedule a time. Remember, we had a video on scheduling your time.
This one has to be scheduled.
Yes, because it's not a very big RV place and the street is very narrow, so they don't want RVs parked along the street. So I called them up and they're like, yeah, we only take deliveries on Tuesday. And mind you, I'm in Alabama on a Tuesday and I have to pick up the trailer by Wednesday at 3. And they're like, we only take drop-offs on Tuesday, and this coming Tuesday, the only available appointment I have is 10 o'clock. And I'm like, that means I'm going to have the trailer behind my truck for a week.
Yeah, nope, not happening.
And you're responsible for that trailer the minute the taillights leave the gate. And I feel very uneasy. And my dispatcher said, well, can you keep it at your house? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I could do that. We have a big acre and I brought trailers home on the way to Florida and stuff like that. And I called Bunny and I said, hey, they want us to go pick up this trailer and everything. We were ready to do it. And then Bunny realized that would be 300 miles, 150 miles to our house from where we would normally drop off to drive 150 miles back. Do the math. At 10 miles to the gallon, that's 30 gallons of fuel. Yeah. Do the math, $3 a gallon, that's a lot of money.
Yep.
So
that one was not worth it.
No, that would cut almost $100 plus the 150 miles each direction.
Right. Now, and you also got to remember, though, too, when your dispatcher is sometimes like on this one, it was a priority load. She didn't know that they weren't accepting a reservation until the following Tuesday. So the minute Tom let her know, she's like, all right, I got to go talk to my manager.
Right, because I called her and I'm like, hey, I said, I could be there at 3, but they're only accepting the load on Tuesday, which is a week from now. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, only on Tuesday. But on the bill of lading, it shows that they take deliveries Monday through Saturday. Mm-hmm. But you can only do 4 appointments a day. And this was a sold unit, a priority unit, and they needed it right away. I even asked the girl, I'm like, this is a sold priority unit. They specifically called me to try to get this to you right away. And the girl at the dealership was like, oh, well. And that's just their thing. They only accept 4 appointments a day. And unfortunately, they were booked up. So our dispatcher, I don't know whatever happened to the trailer, but she did. I mean, I thank her for calling us first. It would have brought us right back home. Yep.
So, and most of it is all in your relationship that you have with your dispatcher too.
Yep. So there is a reason for the $35 dreaded pickup fee, or $20 to $35. That is to make your life a hell of a lot better. A lot of people don't like it. I call it the dreaded because who wants to spend $35? But they have to pay somebody to take that trailer from the manufacturer over to a staging area, a yard, and stage it for you, get the paperwork in there and make sure everything's ready to go. And it's just, do you want to pay $35 for to go hook on and go? Or do you want to not pay $35 and spend an hour and a half there?
Looking for your unit.
And having to do all your own paperwork and do everything. Move trailers around.
Nope.
I'll pay $35 every day of the week.
Yep.
All right. So that's our story for $35.
Yes. And that's why we don't take RVs that are only going 150 miles either.
Right. We try to do RVs that are going at least 500 to 700 miles.
Yeah.
So that covers our cost because you're responsible from the time the taillights hit the gate till the dealership checks it in. So if you're only going a few miles, you're not making enough money to pay for any damages.
No. If we lived local, it'd be fine.
It'd be fine. So, all right. So until next time, we'll see you down the road.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.